Hey everybody! Today we're gonna go over what to do, and we've done this before, but it's a good reminder. I've actually been doing some studying myself because I didn't remember exactly everything that we're supposed to do. But we're gonna go over what we should do if there is a bomb threat or if we find a suspicious item. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read through some questions. I'm gonna pause for a little bit for y'all to think about it. And then what I'm going to do, let me turn my phone down so we don't get a phone call. There we go. And what we're going to do for that, so like I said, I'll read the question, I'm going to pause the video, and then you all let me know what you think the right answer is, but I'll then tell you the answer. So, but think about it yourself. And again, as always, I'll do this video and then I'll talk to you about it later after if you have any questions or things like that. So let's get started on what to do for a bomb threat, which is a very serious thing. We want everyone to be careful and stay safe. And you never know when something like this is going to happen. So, number one, if staff tells you there has been a bomb threat, what is everyone going to be expected to do? So I'm going to put this on pause for a bit and give you a chance to think about it. So again, if staff tells you there's been a bomb threat, what is everyone expected to do? Okay, I hope that gave you enough time to kind of think about it and answer the question for yourselves. So if a staff tells you there's been a bomb threat, what is everyone going to be expected to do? Well, what we're going to be expected to do is what the authorities say. So if you find that out, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out whether or not we're going to shelter in place, depending on what the authorities say. And then we're going to figure out if we're going to evacuate the building, depending again on what authorities say, because they're the experts in this situation, not us. And we would find out from them. Most likely, we would be evacuating the building because it is a bomb threat, just like with a fire drill, probably evacuate the building. But if they say, no, we want you to shelter in place and stay where you are, depending on where the device is, then we would shelter in place. And what we do when we shelter in place is we would close up all the doors, lock them, stay in the room that we're in, bar the doors, things like that, make sure that we're kind of safe away from windows. Because if anything did go off, we want to be far away from glass and shards of glass that could be flying around. So, we'd probably get under the tables, things like that, just to make sure that we're safe. All right. Question number 2. After evacuating the building, should everyone stay close to the building, as we do during a fire drill, or should everyone get further away, and why? So again, the question is, after evacuating the building, should everyone stay close to the building, as we do during a fire drill, or should everyone get further away, and why? I will give you a chance to answer this for yourselves. So I'll see you again in a second. Okay, so I hope you've had time to come up with an answer. So after evacuating the building, should everyone stay close to the building as we do during a fire drill? Or should everyone get further away, and why? Well, there's a big difference between a fire drill and a bomb threat. If it was a big bomb, it could actually take out quite a bit of the building. So when we have evacuated, usually what we do for a fire drill is we go to kind of where the van area is. I think we all know exactly where we're supposed to go, kind of by the office, and right there we convene, and we'll make sure, or up to the top of the driveway, and then we'll make sure that we, take account of everyone who's there and everyone who's not, And I would make sure as a staff member that my group, whoever's in my group, that they're all together. Now, for this one, though, we would go to the Hilltop parking lot. We want to get as far away as possible. And the reason why is because it does create a space where it could actually affect a much larger area than a fire that would just be in the area but not really be affecting us. And we'd wait, for a fire drill, you would wait and let the firefighters and everybody do their job. But we would want to get further away because it's a bomb threat, so it's a big deal. And that's what we would do. We would go much further away. Like I said, we'd stay as one in a group. We would walk all the way over to the Hilltop parking lot, and that's where we would convene. Next question is, when is it safe to return inside the building? So I'm going to give you a chance to answer this. When is it safe to return inside the building? All right, I'm going to put it on pause and let you answer that. Okay, I hope you had some time to answer that. It's a short question. So when is it safe to return inside the building? The answer there is basically as long as Spring's there, and that's who our contact person really is. She would be the one, because we would first want to make sure that she knows about that, there's a bomb or there's a possible bomb or anything like that. And then we would follow her to the Hilltop parking lot. You would want to listen to your staff because Spring would be on a call on 911 to discuss everything that we need to do. So we wouldn't return to the building. When it's safe to return inside the building is when we're instructed to do so. So it would be up to the authorities, and they would let us know when it's safe to return. And so we would wait at Hilltop Mall until we know that it's safe to return to program. And again, we wouldn't go back on a whim and say like, oh yeah, I think it's fine, it's time to go back. No, we wait till we hear instructions saying yes, it is okay for us to return. That's what we do. It's to stay safe, because that's what we need to do, is make sure that everyone is staying safe. Next question. Should you help the police or firefighters look for the bomb? Why or why not? So again, should you help the police or firefighters look for the bomb? Why or why not? I'm going to put it on pause again and give you a chance to answer the questions for yourself. Okay, one second. Welcome back. Okay, so it says, should you help the police or firefighters look for the bomb? Why or why not? Why there would be no good reason for us to. We don't know what we should be doing with the package. We don't have any expertise. This is not our field. Just like I wouldn't invite a police officer to come take a group out and be like, yeah, you know what you're doing. You know about everybody here. No, it's just not safe. So why not is we're not the experts. When it comes to something, you want to leave it up to the experts to figure it out. And you want to stay safe. And so you wouldn't want to help them find it. If they ask for your help, then, really you should let staff know. But I wouldn't want any of you getting near the bomb. I mean, if they ask for your help, then, say, yeah, it's over here. Give them basic directions to this is where I saw what I saw. But if you have no idea, there's no point in you putting yourself into danger. Don't do that. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So, really let them do their job. They'll get their job done. And then we take care of our job, which is staying safe and evacuating and doing what we're supposed to do. All right, next question. So if a stranger told you that he or she had placed a bomb inside or near the building, what would you do? What would you try to remember about the person making the threat? So one more time. If a stranger told you that he or she had placed a bomb inside or near the building, what would you do? What would you try to remember about the person making the threat? All right, I'll give you a chance to answer that, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. One thing I wasn't clear about is when I ask you to pause the video, you should pause the video as well and give yourself time to answer, because I know I'm just popping right back up if you keep playing it. So I should have told you that in the very beginning, but here we are. We're in the last two questions. So, but yeah, from now on, you pause as well for the last question. But if a stranger told you that he or she had placed a bomb inside or near the building, what would you do? Well, the first thing you would do is you would notify your staff, and then you would go with your staff and we would notify Spring. And if Spring wasn't in the office, we would notify Amy. If Amy wasn't there, we would notify either Kevin, Derek, or Marie. But we would make sure that we do. But first thing to do would be to go to your staff and let them know and say, this person told me this. What should we do? And what would you try to remember about the person making the threat? Well, you would want to really try to remember all the traits that the person has, what their race is, what their gender is, how tall they are, their height, their weight, what they're wearing, if they seemed angry, if they seemed upset, if they had any identifying tattoos, if they are wearing anything like like glasses. We would want to note all these things. Everything that you can remember, what their hair looked like, if it was long, if it was short, if it was curly, if it was straight, We would want to make sure that we know everything we can. So really study the person. If somebody did come up to you personally and say, I put a bomb on your campus, you would make sure that you contact staff, and then you would really want to study the person, especially what they're wearing and things like that. This way it helps because the police are going to ask questions. They're going to ask, what did you notice about this person? What didn't you notice about this person? And yeah, so that's what you're going to do. Last question. Remember to pause it when I pause it. But if you find a box or backpack that doesn't seem to belong to anyone, what should you do? All right. So you go ahead and pause the video. I'll pause mine as well. All right. See you in a sec. Okay, everybody, welcome back. So last question. If you find a box or backpack that doesn't seem to belong to anyone, what should you do? Well, for this one, I have a long sheet of paper that does actually explain all of it. So we will go over that. So this is what you do if you find a suspicious item. So together we can help keep our community safe. If you see something that is suspicious, out of place, or doesn't look right, say something. A suspicious item is any item, for example, a bag, package, vehicle, etc., that is reasonably believed to contain explosives, an improvised explosive device, IED, or other hazardous material that require a bomb technician and/or specialized equipment to further evaluate it. Examples that could indicate a bomb include unexplainable wires or electronics, other visible bomb-like material bomb-like components. Sorry, let me read that again. Unexplainable wires or electronics and other visible bomb-like components such as unusual sounds, vapors, mists, odors. Generally speaking, anything that is HOT, which is hot, but is an acronym for anything that is hidden, obviously suspicious, and not typical. should be deemed suspicious. In addition, potential indicator for bomb threats, placement, and proximity of the item to people and valuable assets. Note, not all items are suspicious. An unattended item is an item, a bag, for example, a bag, package, vehicle, of unknown origin and content where there are no obvious signs of being suspicious, which, we just read. Facility search, lockdown, or evacuation is not necessary unless that item is determined to be suspicious. You may encounter a suspicious item unexpectedly or while conducting a search as part of your facility's employer's bomb threat response plan. If it appears to be a suspicious item, follow these procedures. What do we always do? First thing, there's a fire, anything like that, we remain calm. You don't want disorder, people running around like, there's a bomb! That's not going to help. If we lose our heads, then people get separated, and that's when bad things happen. So first thing we always do is remain calm. Do not touch, tamper with, or move the package, bag, or item. Why? Because it could explode. Well, leave it alone. Let the cops deal with it. Next one, notify authorities immediately. Notify your safety coordinator, program coordinator, division director, or a manager at a community work site. So again, our program, for inroads, our safety coordinator is Marie. For the entire program, the safety coordinator is Spring. That is who we bring all this information to. That's the best thing to do. Next, call 911 or your local law enforcement. Next, describe the item, explaining why it appears suspicious and the item's location. So if you're the one who saw it, help them explain where you saw it. Next, follow instructions. Supervisors and or law enforcement will assess the situation and provide guidance regarding shelter in place, like I said, we have the shelter in place, or evacuation, which again, we would evacuate to Hilltop Mall parking lot. Distance and protective cover are the best ways to reduce injury from a bomb. So getting away is one way. Protective cover is like getting under a table. Staying away from windows and things like that are the best way. Be aware there could be other threats or suspicious items. So just because you found one doesn't mean there's not more. So we want to make sure we do that. Next, do not use any cell phones. Do not use any cell phones if a suspicious item has been found. Cell phones should be turned off if possible. Again, we don't know what could activate the device. And so the best thing to do is to turn off our cell phones and just talk to each other. Every situation is unique and should be handled in the context of the facility or environment in which it occurs. Facility supervisors and law enforcement will be in the best position to determine if the risk is real and is posed and how to respond. So, that's what we want to do. Take all those steps. But again, most of these steps, bring it to your staff, then we can bring it to Spring, and then we can make sure that we're actually doing the right thing and getting the right thing done. So this has been what to do during a bomb threat. It was a little lengthy. I didn't think it would go for like 20 minutes. But if you have any questions, I will ask you, I will text you and say, do you have any questions about the video that you saw? If you do, please let me know. If not, have a great day. I miss y'all, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.